Dead Rising 3 is an over-the-top zombie killing sandbox which is actually pretty fun. You're gonna really enjoy this title if you know what you're getting into, as this game changed a few things from the previous entries in the series, and those changes make it even more over the top than the previous entries. We'll talk about those changes in a moment, but before that, this game gives you a GTA like open world which is pretty decent in terms of size and looks good enough. The game is set in the fictional city of Los Perdidos in United States and follows the story of a mechanic named Nick Ramos. This fictional city is struck by the zombie outbreak, and the story follows the adventures of Nick Ramos, who along with some other survivors is trying to escape the city. The plot is fine and it gives you a reason to, mow down thousands of zombies, and yeah, you're gonna be killing tons of zombies in this title, ridiculous amount of zombies. Then along the zombies, you're gonna be dealing with these crazy psychopaths, and they are like special characters, kind of like side bosses, and they have special weapons and stuff. These crazy psychopaths are actually a highlight in this title. They all have unique personalities, they're really wacky, and they drop some really cool stuff once you beat them. Then there are other hostile survivors like a biker gang and some others that you're gonna run into in the story. And yeah, the story is okay and the missions are fine. But the core is obviously the zombie killing action, which is fantastic. The ability to use anything and everything, including your fists, as weapons. And the ability to craft weapons, crazy weapons. Earlier I told you that this game has changed a few things from the earlier entries in the series, and one of those things is the fact that you don't need a workbench anymore in order to craft stuff. So yeah, you can craft those weapons on the go, which is actually insane, and I personally love it because it means that there is not much downtime in this title. You are like literally on the berserk mode all the time. Then the game gives you vehicles to drive around the city just like a GTA game, and you get bikes, cars and whatnot. You can obviously take out tons of zombies with your vehicles, but the fun, it doesn't just stop there. You get the ability to craft combo vehicles, which is just crazy, as you can craft some crazy stuff, really awesome, really cool looking stuff. And driving those zombie harvesting machines is ridiculously fun. In order to craft weapons and vehicles, you're gonna need blueprints, and they are scattered throughout the game world. And there is a massive variety of stuff that you can craft. The game features both melee weapons and firearms, and the weapons they break after a certain amount of usage, and there is no repair mechanic. But a repair mechanic is actually not needed in a game like this, since everything around you is a weapon, and you always get to try something new because of the fact that the weapons they break. So yeah, you're gonna be moving from one weapon to the other very quickly, and you can have a good amount of weapons on you at a time. And even if you run out of weapons, don't underestimate those hands, those fists of yours, because you can do some serious damage with those. And as you progress within the game, you level up and you get crazy abilities. By the end of the game, you're gonna be like an absolute killing machine, a monster. As you level up, you earn attribute points, and you can spend those to improve your attributes and slowly become a monster. Then you've got trials, they are like challenges, and you complete those in order to win a good amount of XP, more than what you would with mindless combat. And yeah, it gives you side objectives and helps you level up quickly. And it is usually things like, crafting a certain item 50 times and things like that. So pretty cool. Just like the entries before this one in the Dead Rising series, you get a timer in this game as well, but the timer is like really generous in this game, which means you will be able to do a lot more before the timer runs out. And there is a particular point in the story, once you get there, the timer is actually completely removed, which means you can roam around as much as you want to without any consequences. And then this game also gave you the ability to save your progress whenever you want to, which was also something new to the series. If you are a fan of Dead Rising 2, there is something really cool for you in this game, and if you missed out on it, you should definitely check it out, as you do get to see Chuck Green. And yeah, there is some really cool connection between the two games. Anyways, the highlights of this title are the combat, the crafted weapons and vehicles, and those psychotic side bosses. You get tons of zombies on screen simultaneously, and yeah, it looks really impressive for a title that came out 10 years ago in 2013. It was a launch title for the original Xbox One, and this is a Microsoft exclusive actually. Taking out these massive hordes of zombies with your crafted weapons and vehicles is fantastic. Weapons with electricity mods, fire mods, burning swords, guns that fire acid, and tons of different weapons. When it comes to the tools of destruction, this title has a ton to offer. And then those vehicles, there is a decent amount of vehicles as well, and ramming the zombies is also really fun. One thing that I personally don't love about this title is the fact that the guns, they don't really have a reload mechanic. So if you pick up a gun for example and it has 50 rounds, it is going to fire all 50 without any reloads, and after that you get a jerk and the gun disappears, which is something that really breaks the immersion for me personally. Even on a title like this, it bugs me really, so I prefer using the melee weapons more than the guns. The game also features co-op support for 2 players, where Nick Ramos is joined by a trucker named Dick in his adventures. The story, it features multiple endings depending upon your choices in the last chapter of the game, which is also really cool and adds some replay value. You can also change your costumes and stuff, and there is a decent amount of options to choose from and some really goofy ones too. Then apart from the regular story mode, you also have a nightmare mode, which gives you more traditional time limit and save options. If you want the old school Dead Rising experience, you can have that too. And then you also have this Untold Stories mode, which follows the stories of other survivors of the outbreak. And yeah, it is pretty cool as well. You get to play as a spec ops commander in one, a biker gang leader in another one, and there are others as well. So yeah, it gives you more excuse to go out there and kill some zombies and play from a different perspective and have some fun. So overall, Dead Rising 3 is a pretty decent package when it comes to the amount of content that it has to offer. The main story mode featuring multiple endings, tons of weapons, a decent amount of vehicles, tons of zombies, then a nightmare mode for you to experience at least once, and then the Untold Stories with the episodes are also pretty good. And the game looks okay, it has aged just fine, and it was not a masterpiece when it comes to the PC port in terms of optimization, but yeah, with the specs of today, it should not be a problem for anyone. This title doesn't have any major negatives apart from the gun thing that I've already discussed earlier, and then the special infected. Yes, this title does have special infected, but they don't stand out at all. They're a part of the crowd and not a major issue, but yeah, they are just there, kind of. And then the map layout is also not fantastic, but yeah, nothing major. This is a mindless game, but a mindless fun game. Don't expect anything logical and you're gonna have a good time. The game is gonna make you feel like Kratos in Zombieland. Sounds fun, isn't it? If it does, please hit that like button, guys. And yeah, if you want to feel powerful, jump into this one and have a blast. GTA like open world and Kratos like abilities, and you are a super mechanic. You can craft vehicles on the go without any workshop or stuff. So yeah, superpowers. And if you're interested in a realistic zombie game, definitely check out this video next on State of Decay 2. And thank you very much for watching. Peace out.